Number one, make your art an honest self-expression of your current state of mind. This basically comes by getting to know yourself, getting to know your own interests, getting into contact with your reality, sort of figuring out what you like, what you dislike, form opinions, and then these opinions are going to go around in your head, and you're going to, think about all sorts of stuff and kind of like crystallize this interest or opinion. And then you'll have this feeling, I want to output this opinion somehow, and then you can kind of transform it into an artwork. So your artwork doesn't look uninspired because some people, which is totally fine, just want to draw one specific thing and get really good at that. But I personally think to make your art this, like, it's just very cool to me, for example, to go back into my history of collected art and sort of at any time see like, oh, when I was drawing this, I was, for example, interested in spirituality or psychedelics. And around this time, I was super into black holes and space. And here I was terrified of Mark Zuckerberg, that sort of thing. Number two, keep your eyes open for inspiration because it can lurk in any ugly corner. So don't just look for inspiration when you're looking at a beautiful sunset or at something like that glimmers and sparkles and looks beautiful to you, but keep your eyes open. Just train your eyes to find the beauty in pretty much everything you can manage, because not only is it going to make you into a better artist who pays attention to the details that go around you in reality, but it'll probably also make you a happier person, because looking for the beauty in the world, I don't think that's going to hurt anybody. It probably have some positive effects on your mental health as well. It's like a gratitude exercise. I have looked a lot at just water in bottles or like the reflections on glass and stuff. And it's like, man, reality looks extremely funky. And there's so many things we just kind of take for granted. But if you actually look at the little details, basically reality is just a great teacher for drawing techniques. It's not just stuff you have to kind of learn on your own. You can just look at the world and then kind of translate what you see and find cool into the movements of your hands. There definitely is some collaboration with the world around you. Number three, treat your art, like all your artworks, like they're your kids. I have done this, and a lot of people I know do this, where they draw something and then immediately they need to talk it down, oh, this is trash, this is obviously terrible, I suck ass, and I'm obviously not creative anyway, I don't like this. And then there's a bit of a cliche of, oh, these people are just fishing for compliments, and some people are. I think generally it's just really being ashamed of what you make because you feel it doesn't match your own standard. Like, you look at it and you're like, damn it, I could do better. Or something about you bothers it, but you don't really know why, so you talk down on it to kind of, even out for that feeling of insecurity. But imagine you have a kid, and that kid really wants to do something. Your kid wants to learn how to cook, but it sucks. You don't tell that kid you suck at cooking, even though it probably does when it starts off trying to learn how to cook. Because, let me just close. So, you don't tell your kid, hey, you suck at cooking, because your kid is gonna cry, and then that kid is gonna lose interest in the activity of cooking after a while, because it gets demoralized and its creative drive sort of gets crippled. You can do that to yourself. If you keep imagine this really like a kid inside you, the kid inside you who wants to do art, the kid inside you who wants to do all these cool things, and you're the parent who is trying to sort of help the kid be better, but instead accidentally you're crippling it. So try to love everything you create. Be able to love every artwork, and even if one of them you don't like, keep it around and then try to see the good in it like you would in a kid that you're trying to encourage. And then later on you can kind of see like, oh, look, here you were at this time and now you're further and this is how you've improved. Focus on the positives. Because, also, if you don't want to go off of empathy only, it's just if you go off of like negative stuff and your brain is constantly cycling around shit, it's just going to make you improve less quickly because you're going to beat yourself up and fall into bad emotions like jealousy, bitterness, frustration. And then you're just going to distract yourself with things that probably aren't going to help your art ability either. Like, I don't know, eating candy for the dopamine that you couldn't get out of general creative love, for example. So, yeah. Number 4, and this is kind of specifically for if you really want to be an amazing artist. Like, this is like, I want to master art. Then know for yourself, I want to really commit to art, and remind yourself of this. Because I am pretty certain that if you have something that in your mind you keep your attention focused on for a long time, like if you want to do something, of course it's okay to do like stuff as a hobby, but even if you want to do art as a hobby, it's like as you're working on something, like really commit to the thing you're doing, like be there, pay attention. Number 5, don't be afraid to be experimental. You could also just say, get out of your comfort zone. Don't always draw the same things. Draw risky scenes, like draw poses that are a bit more out of the norm. I struggle with this still. Don't draw people just standing there like in a stiff, boring position, that sort of thing. Try to exaggerate the point you want to get across. The emotional impact, just make the scene, think about the scene and think, what do I want to feel in this scene and what do I want other people to feel, and then how do I best exaggerate this to get the biggest possible emotional reaction and sort of effect that I want to get across. And if that requires like kind of breaking the rules of reality, then what the heck, go for it, you know? At least that's my opinion. So, yeah. I hope those helped. Have a nice day.